We've all been in circumstances where no matter how hard we worked, we couldn't seem to make significant progress. Contrary to popular belief, we should take the time to step back under these circumstances rather than exert even more effort into the strategy and examine our routines. We must fight against poor habits, which are particularly harmful because it might be hard to recognize when they are affecting your development. Most of the time, changing your behavior is all you need to see a significant impact on your development and growth. Hello and welcome to Luxsio. In this video, we'll share with you 15 habits that hinder your progress. Before we begin, make sure you click that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you won't miss out on more of our incredible videos. Number 1. Improper stress management. We are not always fully motivated, and during those times when we don't feel like working, our capacity for stress management may be what separates us from the competition. Stressful circumstances have the power to derail your plans and make you feel anxious. Stress-relieving routines and habits are the best strategies to combat stress because it directly affects your productivity. Participating in mental exercises like yoga, meditation, music, art, and athletics can help you stay in check and alleviate the accumulated stress. Number 2. Uncertainty and self-doubt. Lack of action can cost you a lot. It can ruin all the effort and planning put into a project if left unchecked. It's common to consider the possibilities open to you, but one must also be mindful of the time involved. When faced with a challenging decision, many people will weigh all the relevant information, both positive and negative, in their minds before making a choice. And even if this occasionally works, you must remember that it ultimately wastes a lot of effort and energy that would be better used on your task. Number 3. Perfectionism. If you deal with perfectionism, you may find it challenging to put your best into whatever you do. Perfectionism might cause you to set unrealistically high standards, hindering your progress. It also mentally exhausts you and places you in situations where you will be unable to complete whatever task you begin because you want it done perfectly, which does not exist. Another issue with this behavior is that because your thoughts already have the ideal plan, you'll probably shift the blame whenever something doesn't go as planned. Perfectionism prevents you from recognizing your mistakes and developing realistic goals to strengthen your weaknesses. Number 4. You tend to multitask. Multitasking is undoubtedly one of the most prevalent negative habits that might hinder your growth. And over time, this negative behavior reduces productivity, slows cognitive processing, and stresses you out. Multitasking makes you feel like a hard worker even if you end up with multiple unfinished projects. This behavior also appeals to your sense of competence. And simply because you try to multitask and perform 3 things at once, something you could otherwise accomplish well ends up being a botched job. To avoid multitasking and hurting your productivity, group comparable tasks together and finish them before going on to the next thing on your schedule. Number 5. Procrastination. So given the risks involved with delaying major projects, why do we continue to do so? Procrastinating habits are typically linked to deeper issues like lack of interest or a fear of failure or criticism. No one is too old to procrastinate. So even while it's normal for students to do so when doing homework or studying for examinations, even an executive in a big firm could find themselves putting off their plans. And even if you accomplish the activity at the last minute, it will likely be done poorly, or you will be too exhausted or upset from the rush to do it well. Number 6. Constantly comparing yourself to others. Although it's healthy to be competitive, comparing your improvement with others might ruin your success. We are all essentially different from one another, and we all work in different ways. Comparing yourself to others can cause you to lose focus on your objectives. Unnecessary comparison can also result in unhealthy competitiveness and put you in circumstances where you would rather fail to save face than seek help. This happens as you attempt to mimic the growth curve of another person. Here's a great tip. Avoid making your mentor into your rival. Number 7. Trying to accomplish everything on your own and not assigning tasks. Although it's a fantastic thing to believe in your independence, doing everything on your own occasionally causes you to lag and harm your success. Delegation provides the additional benefit of allowing experts in a specific sector to complete the assignment and provide you with superior outcomes to work with. Even though you are the team leader and are knowledgeable in a particular area, you should assign tasks to the experts you collaborate with to concentrate on the bigger things. Number 8. You act impulsively. No matter how straightforward the job may seem, rushing into it without careful thought and planning might be catastrophic. Additionally, while it's essential to avoid wasting time on indecision, you should make sure any project is fully readied before starting. Number 9. You can't take criticism well. Not taking criticism well can quickly stop your hard work and success. Yes, taking criticism without letting it affect you can be difficult, especially concerning something more private. But it's best to consider the advice and avoid concentrating too much on your criticism. You must be able to distinguish between constructive criticism and outright malicious remarks. Number 10. You don't follow a routine. Sometimes all it takes to make significant progress is to define your work correctly. Do you often respond to business emails while at home watching TV, or do you frequently join conference calls while on vacation? A fuzzy line separating work and play will cause you to put out a poor effort to get through the day, and you won't achieve much in the long run. Establishing and maintaining a routine is the best defense against unclear boundaries. And a healthy one includes scheduling an exercise before breakfast and other important daily tasks. You'll be more productive and focused if you have a nice routine. Number 11. Not getting enough sleep due to late nights. We're all guilty of working extra hours or trying to catch up on our favorite shows while staying late. If you do this once, it won't be an issue. But if you do it frequently enough that your brain doesn't get enough rest before the next day, it will throw your progress out of whack. According to scientific research, lack of sleep can impair cognitive function and concentration. So, if you're considering staying up all night, remember that preparing yourself for the next day also involves getting enough sleep. Number 12. Planning complex and long to-do lists. Certainly, to-do lists are essential for productivity. However, doing them too much is likely the very thing halting your development. Because some of us are a little bit overzealous, many people have gotten into the habit of creating to-do lists containing hundreds of things. Some people take longer to prepare and write a to-do list than it will take to do the chores themselves. You could still feel overwhelmed and unable to finish everything on this unreasonably large list. Furthermore, it will lower your spirits if you experience terrible luck. Remember that the ideal to-do list for any given day should consist of 1 to 5 activities with subtasks that fit into any of them. Number 13. Lack of discipline. There will always be days when you don't feel like working, and self-discipline is what will keep you going if you lack the enthusiasm to stick to the rules meticulously. A good example is studying consistently. Everyone knows how essential reading is to understand a subject correctly, but only a tiny percentage of people constantly practice this habit. And it's not that they don't want to pass. Instead, they lack the self-control to read even when they're not feeling it. Number 14. Technology addiction. Technology is supposed to simplify our lives and boost productivity, yet it frequently has the opposite effect. Technology, which is now at our fingertips, diverts our attention more than anything else in our life. Many people find it impossible to go an hour without checking their emails and messages, and they're endlessly scrolling through their feed when they are not doing that. Even if you only check your phone for a minute, notifications are an excellent example of a distraction that will stop your production flow. You might not have the opportunity to refocus with the same intensity you had earlier. Number 15. Failure to learn from mistakes. For growth, mistakes are necessary. They give you first-hand knowledge of the appropriate responses to use in various circumstances. The wisest course of action for individuals is to accept their errors without providing justifications. Making excuses puts you at risk of repeating your mistakes since your mind doesn't connect the proper explanations for your circumstances to them. The most significant error you can make is failing to learn from your mistakes. Now, before we go, we want you to remember this. As you seek opportunities to improve yourself, numerous factors come into play in your quest to become a highly successful person. Always remember to start your development path by looking within, as that will always be the best place to start. Which of these habits affect your personal growth at the moment? Share them in the comments below. We'd love to know about your growth journey. As always, thank you for supporting us. If you enjoy seeing videos like this, give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring and valuable content. We'll see you in the next video.